When is the right time to apply to business school? It's a question we get quite a bit here at Stratus. And I'd say that most people should be applying after having 4 or 5 years of work experience. Of course, there are always exceptions, and 4 to 5 years is just an average. We've seen exceptional applicants get in with just 2 or 3 years of experience, as well as more seasoned professionals with more than 6 years of work experience. In the past 10 years or so, most top MBA programs have begun offering deferred enrollment, which allows students to apply in their senior year of college and then actually matriculate after working for 2 to 5 years. So that's another option if you really know that you want your MBA. Take that deferral period and really determine if you need that MBA. Speaking of which, we should note that wherever you are in your journey, the best time to apply isn't when you have a certain number of years, but when you're professionally and personally ready for your MBA. If you truly understand how an MBA will advance your career, if the degree is more of a must-have rather than a mere want, it's probably the right time. Now, once you know you want to apply during a certain admission cycle, you may be asking yourself this question: should I apply in round 1 or wait until round 2? And is round 3 even an option? There's a lot to consider, and the truth is the answer really depends. Admissions orthodox is that applicants should apply in the first round, which is in September. And while that may be true in many cases, there is always nuance. The key, of course, is to apply in the round where you can submit the strongest possible application. So if you've got some big work-related milestones coming up, maybe you're working up to a promotion or working on a project that will wrap up in October or November, round 2, which is in January, might actually be the better option for you. That's because waiting gives you a chance to show your progress and give your application the polish it deserves. So if that's your situation, you might just want to take your time and apply later. But if you're unsure, don't worry. I'm here to walk you through a few key things to think about before you make your decision. Let's dive into the details. Let's start with your GMAT or GRE score. Maybe you've been studying for months, but you're still not hitting the score you know you can achieve. If that's the case, consider waiting to that still competitive round 2. You want to apply with your best test score on hand. After all, you want it to be a reflection of your full potential. So if you're not quite there yet, round 2 could give you the time you need to improve your score and strengthen your application overall. Next up, your essays. The competition is tough in MBA admissions. For top business schools, the acceptance rate is roughly 15%, with many schools even lower than that. This means you've got to bring your A game, not just with your test scores and GPA, but with your story. You need to tell admissions who you are, what your goals are, and why business school is the next right step for you. If you're nearing round 1 deadlines and have written your essays, think critically about them. Are they close to perfect? If you're hesitating or unsure, it's probably best to hold off and make sure they're the best they can be before you submit. A well-crafted essay can make all the difference, and of course, if you'd like an expert opinion, we here at Stratus can help. One of the most important things you need to ask yourself is whether you truly understand the schools you're applying to. The last thing you want to do is submit an essay that's generic, or even worse, a copy-paste of the same response you've used for other schools. Why an MBA is one thing, but why this MBA program is another. Take your time. Research each program carefully. Talk to current students, connect with alumni, and make sure you know what sets each program apart. If you're applying to a school and your essay feels like it could fit anywhere, that's a sign you might not be ready for round 1. If you need more time to do in-depth research and tailor your application, round 2 might be your best bet. Finally, let's talk about the details. It's the little things that can turn a good application into a great one. Do you have time to do a final read on your essays and short answer questions? When was the last time you printed out your application and really read through it, slowly and carefully, to catch those silly mistakes? I've seen applicants accidentally type that they were born in Iowa instead of Iowa. And on a rare occasion, have seen applicants misspell a school's name. Of course, a typo or two won't doom your application, but you don't want to miss these things in the final submission if you can avoid it. So if you're not sure you can give yourself the time to double check every part of your application, it's better to hold off and apply in round 2. That way, you won't risk making a careless mistake that could hurt your chances. Most schools offer a round 3 that's due in the late winter, early spring. In general, we don't advise applying in round 3 because there's so few seats available at that point. Harvard Business School, my alma mater, was admitting so few round 3 students that they dropped the 3rd round completely and went to 2 rounds. Still, there are round 3 exceptions. We worked with a client once who was on an oil rig and physically could not apply until later in the cycle, which he explained in an optional essay. We've worked with professionally and nationally underrepresented applicants who've stood out later in the game. And there's always room for a complete rock star, even if it's in round 3. So there are always exceptions, but you need to go into round 3 with your eyes wide open. At the end of the day, submitting a strong MBA application is about taking your time and making sure you've put forth your best effort. Round 1 might feel like the right choice because of the early deadlines, but if you're rushing to meet them without giving everything your full attention, it might hurt your chances more than help them. It's better to take a deep breath and make sure you've got a polished, thoughtful application before you hit submit. Do you have questions about your specific timeline? Sign up for a free consultation with me or another Stratus admissions expert by visiting stratusadmissionscounseling.com. And don't miss our playlist with what to do month by month if you are applying to business school.